All right.
Hello, hello, hello.
Got Tyson on the bottle.
Happy September 11th. Or, I don't think you say happy. You say in memory of or
Today.
remembering 9/11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we are recording on 9/11. Crazy. I didn't even realize that till like half the day today. Shows how out of touch I am.
Where were you on 9/11?
When I found out, my dad was driving me to middle school. And I remember it was on the radio and he turned up the volume and he was like, wait, everyone be quiet. And then he turned it up and it was playing and I just remember him going like, oh my God, and just like, I didn't know what was going on. I think I was 11. And so at that time, I'm like, this kind of sounds bad, I think. And when we got to school.
You had to have been in 6th grade because I was in 8th grade.
Yeah. When we got to school, I think probably every teacher wheeled out their TV and we watched it live.
So when Kayla was in school, they used to have to wheel the TV into the classroom on a cart because it was so heavy you couldn't carry it.
Oh,
That's how old she is.
Really high. It was like a really tall shelf with wheels. Wait, what are you talking about? You're older than me, so
I was just giving you a hard time.
Definitely was on wheels.
So I was in 8th grade. I was a counselor's aide. So I was in the counselor's office with all the teachers and counselors, and Mr. Bradshaw was one of the counselors, and he was always super cool, calm, collective, and that was the only time that I had ever seen Mr. Bradshaw freaking out. He was like, what the fuck? He was like, they just ran a plane into the World Trade Center. You gotta be kidding me. And I'm going, well, Mr. Bradshaw, maybe it's an accident. He said, this ain't no an accident. He's like, we're going to war. And I was just like, holy crap. Mr. Bradshaw just said we're going to war. Like, and he's the most calm here, you know? So I just remember it being a big deal. Everyone's trying to call their parents. All the parents are trying to get a hold of their kids. It's kind of pandemonium, really. Riding the school bus, we might have got let out of school early. I think we did when the school buses came to get everybody and they were taking everyone home. I just remember the lines to the gas stations being incredibly long. And everybody was just lined up to get gas. And because everybody knew it was like we're either going to war or this could be at the end or
end of the world, and stock up on your gas and your canned goods.
Yeah, I remember it was if Mr. Bradshaw's freaking out, then
that was like your point of reference.
Yeah.
He's freaking out, it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real, think about it. He's a counselor. He's there to help everyone, coach everybody through their feelings and their emotions, and he's got to be on top of his game, and he knew that it was serious that day, and it was.
I've been to the 9/11 museum, which is crazy. So big, and there's so many artifacts.
Yeah, I didn't go to the museum, but just the site.
Yeah, the fountains, yeah. Yeah.
Which was a surreal moment for me.
Yeah. Obviously, I was very young and hard to comprehend and process and understand. I really don't remember much other than the TV getting wheeled in the classroom, watching it, and then my memory is blank after that as far as what happened. So, but yeah, I mean, that's been 33 years. No, not 33, 23 years. 23 years ago.
Yeah, 2001.
2001. Got Tyson down here on the ground at our feet, so we're
trying to
distracted the whole time.
Put a different picture up here.
Yeah, it's like a picture of a piece of art, right?
Yeah, you know what that is?
That's the one you gave to Skrillex?
Yeah, I gave that piece of art to Skrillex.
I know you inside and out.
No, you don't.
I know everything about you.
No, I just tell the same stories over and over.
Tell the same 5 stories.
I gave that picture to Skrillex outside of his tour bus.
You want to elaborate? When was this? Why were you outside his tour bus? Why did you have art with you?
Oklahoma City. I was in Oklahoma City. It's kind of before Skrillex got too big. And he was actually, Skrillex's name is Sonny. He was in a band called From First to Last. It's like a punk band. And my friend Jonathan McWhorter met him, I guess, outside of a concert a couple times when he was a young kid. And he went to the Warp Tour, the Vans Warp Tour, and he met him. And so we showed up to his concert early, and he goes, I think this is his tour bus. We should knock on the door. Before we did, someone came out, and he said, hey, is Sonny in there? And he said, yeah, he sure is. And my friend Jonathan said, well, my buddy made this piece of artwork for him. He wanted to give it to him. He's like, can you give it to him? He's like, I'll go in there and hand it to him. He's like, if you want me to. And I was like, sure. So he goes in there, and he's in there just for a handful of minutes, and he comes back out, and he says, man, he says he loves it. He appreciates it. He's in the middle of making a song right now, but he said he's going to take good care of it, and he appreciates it. And my friend Jonathan's like, are you kidding me? He's not even coming out here? He's like, I was like, John, it's fine. He's like, my friend took a long time to make that. I was like, John, it's okay. He's like, no, he says, it's great. He loves it.
So this was when he was not Skrillex yet?
Yeah, he was
Oh,
Skrillex.
he was Skrillex.
Yeah, he was just, I wouldn't say he was mega famous yet. He was on the come up. He was on the rise. And anyways, I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was really cool. And maybe like a few weeks later, my friend sent me a YouTube clip, and it was Sonny Moore on his tour bus. And I think he's being interviewed by the Arizona News, and they're like asking him what life is like living on the road and, on a tour bus. And he's showing her around, and then he takes that piece of art off the top bunk of the bed, and he pulls it down, and he shows her. And so it's on the YouTube clip for like a few seconds on the Arizona News. And that's cool that at least that's cool that he's at least showing it off. So I was proud of that. I'm like, that's nice.
It's your moment. So this is a picture of that picture,
yeah,
obviously.
A picture of that.
Wonder if he still has it. Skrillex.
I'm sure he's got.
Do you have this
he's got
picture still?
I'm sure he has probably 2 housefuls of fan art.
I just love how we're still using this frame, even though it's chipped and broken. So we got to catch everyone up on our results. Drum roll, please. The results of our pregnancy test. I'm just kidding.
Anyway.
Is that not funny? Dyson's like, that's not funny yet. From the show.
Yeah, so you were in 2 classes. I was in 3 classes.
Yeah, did you sign up for one last minute or something?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so you were in 3, I was in 2, and let's just run everyone through the day. That was such a long day. If anyone's thinking about doing a competition, it's
it's easy.
The prep leading up to it does not feel long, and then I would say the Thursday, Friday, leading up to it is like, can we just get this over with? So yeah, it was fun. It was a good day. Definitely one of the longest days of my life, just because we woke up at 4:45, had to be there by 7, so that's including driving, parking, walking in, getting to our spot, and then it started at 8. And of course, when they read the lineup, it's like boom, 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 men's physique and bikini. And I'm like, of course,
what does that mean?
One,
you mean
all the categories? Yeah. So of course, my category is last. I had to sit there and wait. But it was a smaller show, and it was going really smoothly. They just kept calling the next category, and I was like, whoa, this is kind of going fast. Ended up being kind of a whirlwind of didn't feel like I had time to do anything. Like I didn't really get a good pump. I didn't get to really eat a lot to kind of get that pump going.
Prelims went really quick. So I was in 3 different categories. You were in 2 categories. Got first in my class, which was Division C. Got first in novice. And then I got second place overall men's physique and out of all the categories, which was a little upset that I got second. I wish I felt deserving of first place, but I was not near as tan as the guy that won.
I think that was the only factor.
I think that was a big one. I think whenever you're judging between 2 people and you look at someone and you say, did that guy get the professional tan and did that guy cheap tan? Okay, well, the guy that's darker obviously took more time or put more effort into getting as dark as possible for, the show. So it can make a difference, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, it is like a total package sort of thing.
So if 2 guys are very similar and they're identical, what are you going to pick? Well, you're going to pick the guy that's
more dedicated, maybe.
Well, just darker because it's part of it.
Yeah.
That's why you put tanner on.
Yeah.
The darker you are, the more revealing it is of the muscle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he was about 4 or 5 shades darker than me.
You think that much?
Yeah, I did.
I like honestly did not even ever see that guy, so it all happened.
Yeah, because he was so dark that you couldn't see him.
It all happened so fast. Really felt like a hurry up and wait sort of day, one of those days where it's like, all right, we're waiting, and then boom, everything happens at once. It's kind of how it felt. So
Yeah.
I honestly didn't even see that guy. I didn't even think about you going into the overalls. I just thought about your classes, and I forgot that if you're in the open class, you get to go to the overall and you get that big trophy.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I didn't get it because I didn't get the professional tan.
Yeah, lesson learned. Just like your friend Dustin said, it's like all about just trial and error. Oh, did not place well at all. I'm fine with it. I'm happy with my progress, but I just didn't know what to expect. I mean, I think some people kind of maybe try to find out who's in the show. They get on social media, and typically people will share a lot through their story or post, and they'll like tag the show. And so we're like got on and was like, oh, okay, these are some of the people that are tagging and they're going to be at the show. And then even that morning, I told you, I was like, I don't know if there's going to be any bikini girls in this competition because I didn't see any. I felt like everyone I was seeing was more so figure or the physique. Because they just looked a little bit more off. And so I'm sitting here like, well, maybe there won't be that much competition and I'll have a better chance of winning. And then like lo and behold, they just like come out of the woodworks. Like they're just showing up in the room and they're all freaking just not only lean and jacked, but just look good. You could tell they tried really hard on everything, their makeup, their hair, their jewelry. I just kind of did like the bare minimum, I would say, as far as the effort I put into it. But
like what? Like the jewelry or hair?
I didn't pay for hair and makeup like they all did. I just did my own hair and makeup. I did pay for my tan though. Yeah, they all came out of the woodworks. I was like, yay, I might be out of my league here. So I just felt like it was for me. It was kind of like I was kind of like just hanging there by myself. They're kind of all in a group because they all know each other and trained with the same guy. And it was fun for them and it was a fun day. And like you could tell they were all happy and excited. But I was just kind of keeping to myself and with you and just kind of got in and out of there as soon as possible. So, but yeah, definitely. Like even the people that came and watched us was like, that was just so interesting. It's just a very interesting.
That's a weird subculture.
Yeah, subculture, sport, whatever you want to call it. It's cool. I mean, it takes a lot of dedication, a lot of practice. You have to do a routine and you have to, very not eloquent in a way, but the women have to be like hard but eloquent at the same time in your routine. And just felt like I kind of just went out there and did a little routine and I was like, okay, I'm good. Do you think my routine looked like
Yeah, I think you did okay. I think you did good.
Yeah.
I think if you did it a million times, you would look like you did it a million times.
Yeah. I think the girl that won looked like she did it a million times.
Yeah.
She was like very slow, took her time.
Right.
I feel like I maybe rushed it a little bit. I was like, I just gotta get this.
Yeah, I did too, but to be honest with you, at nighttime after the show had started late, I look at the judges and they're just ready to go eat dinner.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
So when they judged me and that guy for the overall in my division, like overall, they looked at us like once or twice and he was just like, he already made up his mind. Yeah, I don't know if they're hungry, ready to get out of there.
Oh, you did great. So you got first place in all the categories you signed up for.
I got first, and second.
No, you got first, and then the overall you didn't pay for. You didn't sign up for that.
So I got 3 firsts.
3 firsts and all the ones you paid for.
Okay.
Does that make you feel better?
A little better, yeah. I didn't get the big boy trophy.
Yeah, well, to be honest, you were making fun of that trophy in the morning time, so.
Yeah, it's like cool trophy on top of a big box. It's like, it's okay. You guys did a good job. Promotion was good. Trophies are awesome. Everything was great.
So what's just a takeaway you have from the whole experience?
Get bigger, get faster, get stronger, get darker. What can I take away from the whole experience?
Yeah.
If you keep up with your physique consistently, it's not something that you have to do all at once. In the end, it's like It's kind of like if you in school and you study a little bit all through the semester, it's a good habit to get into because once you get on the final test and you're like, okay, I know most of this stuff, you know?
Instead of cramming.
Whereas you don't go to class, you don't do your homework, you don't do your stuff, and then for the last 2 or 3 days, you're trying to cram, and then you're trying to expect yourself to do really well. It's like you're not really giving yourself a true opportunity to what you can. So for me this time, the prep with the food started a little bit further out than last time, so I had to kind of cut out some of the bad stuff I was eating. I noticed I took away bread almost completely. So that's something I'd probably want to almost stick with. It's like, where if the bread's too full of carbs and sugar, then I probably won't, choose it all the time. But
Mm-hmm.
so I think that helped. A little bit of the cardio twice a day helped. But I had to try to keep that size on to the very last minute and then just dry myself out basically. But this time, since last time I felt like was the first time through, I came with a little bit more knowledge and experience, so I wanted to push the envelope just a little bit more, see like, okay, I think I can eat a little bit more different food during the break this time. It was a lot longer of a break. Last time I just had like the tilapia and veggies. This time I came home, I was like, I'm hurting. I'm like eggs, I'm bacon, I'm pancakes. I'm laying down. Like, give me a couple ice cubes.
That was the longest. Just we got home at like 10:30 and we didn't have to leave till 4, but
Left here at the house. We left the house at like 6 a.m. or 6:30 a.m. Yeah. Got back home about 10:30 a.m. Get back up there at what, 6?
and we left here at 4:20.
Okay. So get up there at around
But we
5.
couldn't eat, we couldn't drink anything. I tried to lay down and take a nap for the whole time. I was in the room trying to lay down, and luckily your mom and sister were here watching Tyson. And I could not fall asleep, and I just wanted to fall asleep so bad. So it was just
I think your mind just wanders.
I think I just had adrenaline maybe, or adrenaline knowing I had to go back, or
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. And then we're achy because we're so dehydrated. I mean, I don't think for anyone it's a fun day. I mean, maybe not fun, but like everyone's complaining about I'm hungry. Like you're all just in the same boat as far as being hangry and
Yeah.
thirsty.
And they gave me my trophies. I handed them right to you on the side of the stage, and
Then I had to go out.
then you go out. I just shoved those trophies in the bag, zip them up, and I went right to the pizza box. Pizza. That was my trophy. And then after I get that belly bulged out a little bit, I'm like, yeah, there's my old friend.
How would you, I'm sure you don't think of this because you're a dude, but I think for women going in their mind, they look phenomenal and they all do. They obviously want to win, and I think they all expect to win.
I think every girl's different.
Well, I guess let me finish what I'm saying is everyone who wasn't at the contest and they either saw the picture or I showed them the picture, they were like, how did you not win? But then there were like 10 other girls ahead of me, you know what I mean? So it can kind of be a little mind game where I just didn't want to get in the trap of not being happy with my results because I was so happy with my results.
See, what you're speaking of is exactly the thing that we talked about last year when you're like, don't you want to win? It's like, of course I want to win. Yeah, that would be nice. But I'm not going to set myself up for failure, just like you're not going to set yourself up for failure. Like you literally just had a child. For you to be on the playing field, that's amazing. You know what I mean? Like that. I don't think any of those other women had a child recently. Not that I know of. A few of them may have had kids, but I would say the majority of them hadn't.
Yeah.
So you have to understand.
One of the girls was crying because she didn't get top 5, and it's like, are you happy with the way you look? It's hard.
Well, maybe she trained her ass off, Yeah. Maybe she really trained and really thought she was going to get it. And then
that's where
that can kind of crush your dreams of like, well, you're number 7.
Yeah.
Like, what? Number 7?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saying it's a fine line for women because it can be very addicting. And
well, it can be a fine line for men for sure. And
yeah,
the difference between first and second, it can make a guy go like, I'm never doing this crap again, or like make him depressed, or get spiral out of control.
How did it make you feel?
pissed that I didn't get the big trophy. But
I think
I think that I honestly believe that I was deserving of winning, but maybe I wasn't prepared enough in the fact that I didn't get the professional tan. You know what I mean? Like that's what I chalk it up as. And maybe that's an excuse, and maybe I'm being a sore loser, and maybe that's the case.
we'll just
But
see when the stage photos get released, and you can really maybe decide.
yeah, well, that's kind of what I believe. But it's every game that you play, you learn as much as you can and take away what you can. It's like every piece of art that I made, if I judged it and I said I like this piece or I don't like this piece, that wouldn't be good. What I do is I like this about it, so I'll try to continue to do that next time, or don't like this about it, so I'll try to stay away from that next time. That's all.
Yeah, you live and learn. Lessons learned. So what's next for you?
That's a good question. Next goal is to get my time up on the cold plunge. So over a minute or two on the cold plunge, that'll be a goal of mine. Yeah, I think start implementing a little bit other forms of remedy as far as the working out. I've done the weights and stuff. Now it's probably time for me to look into some different types of recovery. But as far as physical goals, I'm not sure. It'd be nice to do one of those shows again. I had a good time, and I told you I was like I could do that all the time.
I was going to say we could do that every weekend. Hello.
Yeah, I probably could. Not like every weekend, but I could probably do it. Once or twice a month for a summer or something.
Just know I didn't have myself the time needed to put on the muscle. I was so happy with the fat loss that I had, and I had a little bit of muscle, but I didn't give myself the time to put on a big old booty or.
You're working towards that now?
No, I don't know if that's my goal. Have that.
Yeah. So what is your goal?
I don't know if I have a physical one. I might do a different one. I might do a creative one. So I feel like now I've already established the routine and habit of creating that time block. So now if I just do the exact same routine to wake up at the same time, but I don't go to the gym and I put that time and energy towards something else, then that would be my new goal, So it's not like I'm going to be like, oh, yay, I'm done with my physical goal. I get to sleep in now. It'd be, okay, I'm still waking up at the same time because I've set that into practice. And now what can I work on during that time?
Yeah. Got that time blocked out.
Yeah. So that's nice. So I'm going between writing a book or writing. Maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't say writing a book because that sounds intimidating, but like getting in the habit of writing. I think Stephen Furtick said, you don't write a book, you just write one word at a time.
I'm sure he did. Sure he was like, and just kidding. I'm giving him a hard time. And he's slow.
He's not slow. Not slow.
Yeah, it's just one day at a time too, so.
Yeah.
One day at a time, one story at a time, one chapter at a time, whatever it is.
Yeah, or I'm thinking have a word per day. How many I'm going to write so much.
Well, that book would take, I was going to say one word per day. That book would take a long time.
No, like, okay, I'm going to write
So at least
words a day.
Yeah.
1,000 words a day. Something like that. And the book will be here in no time. I think it's good to break down your big goal into little micro goals.
What else? Was the show everything you wanted it to be, or it wasn't as exciting as you thought?
It wasn't as exciting as I thought.
So do you think you have a tendency to do that? Like hype stuff up in your brain and think?
I didn't hype anything up. I told you I didn't hype it up.
So you didn't think it was going to be more exciting than that?
I was just going off last year's show and how much bigger it was and how...
I don't know why there was more people there last year. So like there was a professional.
It was exciting because I just, like last year you kind of made it seem like, I don't know, one's backstage and they're all drinking and...
They're what? I mean, they weren't like drinking, but they had...
Yeah, no, that wasn't going on at all this time.
There's like nobody back there. We're in our room.
Yeah, so that's why I was like,
Ghost Town.
This is all right. I was just ready to get the day over with, and I even told you, I was like, if I don't place well during the break, I'm just gonna freaking eat whatever I want. You're like, no, you're gonna show up again.
Yeah, that sounds like a person that's given up.
I wasn't giving up.
Yeah, you are. It's like you've worked this whole time to show off your physique, and I'm going to eat a cheeseburger because I'm not even going to play. So just give me some ice cream and a cheeseburger, and I'm going to go out there and I don't care anymore.
Do that after the show.
I don't care because they didn't even call me out at there anyways, first call out, so I'm just gonna eat cheesecake out there. My guys judging me.
Honestly, it wouldn't matter because I was so dry and dehydrated that nothing
Yeah,
stayed
yeah.
on my body. I had a donut, and you
Didn't
could
matter.
tell I had a donut, could you?
No, didn't matter.
Anyways, this is all to say, I don't know, if bodybuilding shows like that are very just, you have to be a special kind of person to want to do them. And very dedicated, very disciplined. It's not for the average person, I would say.
I don't know. I think whatever field you're in, whatever you choose, I think you have to be equally as dedicated. I think bodybuilding is just something that it's not everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah.
So if you want to be a dedicated podcaster or a dedicated writer or a dedicated speaker or whatever it is that you want to be, you have to be just as dedicated because it takes a lot of time and effort and a lot of days in there that nobody sees. Nobody cares to talk to you about it. Nobody cares about bodybuilding. And then they see you on stage and you win a trophy and then they're like, well, what's your diet like? And it's like, my diet's like 10 years of lifting weights is like, that's what it's like. And then eating a protein shake every single time after I work out. Like, that's what it's like. It's
Yeah.
it's like eating eggs and egg whites and bacon and half an avocado every single morning, like 4 or 5 days a week, every time. That's what it's like for years.
I had a lot of people ask me about how it affected my breastfeeding and milk supplies.
Yeah.
I am still nursing, and that's actually one of the concerns that I did have going into it. I thought it was going to be completely dried up.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
It didn't affect it at all. The freaking next morning, my boobs were so full. I wanted to sleep in, but my boobs woke me up. 5 a.m. Get this milk out of here. And I pumped 18 ounces of milk in one sitting.
She's a gold mine. A gold mine.
So hard and hurting. And I thought I could like adjust my position and like go on my side. And oh no. I was like, nope, I got to get up. They're tight. So no, it didn't affect it. And
everybody always wants to make assumptions or tell you what's right or wrong, you know, without the experience of them having done it themselves. So they'll probably speculate or say, well, you doing that show is not good for the baby. It's not good. I didn't know. I was going to let you make that call on your own, you know? I mean, we have formula, so we were going to supplement with that anyways because we thought, you know, that might be best. But
I think sometimes I felt like I was like, oh my God.
Maybe he's not getting enough nutrients.
Yeah, losing stuff. No, it would always come back. It would always come back.
Seems pretty healthy to me.
I have to give him a lot of formula.
Mm-hmm.
After getting the tan, I couldn't breastfeed him because I have freaking tan on me, on my boobs. And I had to give him formula a lot. And then pumped, I was afraid that like the milk was getting in, you know, the tan was getting into the milk. So I pumped and dumped a lot. Someone was asking me what formula I used or if I did because their baby gets really bad gas and has acne and lots of spit ups and stuff like that. But I would recommend getting formula that is made in Europe. USA product formula is going to have not great ingredients in it, which can cause your baby to have gas and be uncomfortable. So there is a site called Formuland, who my friend Sammy recommended me to, and it's Europe products, but they sell them in the US. So they do ship it from the US, but mine was from the Netherlands. And so when you get it, it's like everything's in a different language. But so European products are just so much better in general. So he takes it no problem, just like he drinks breast milk. So no issues.
So this competition didn't get you too excited. It's going to really get you excited. It's going to really just, because you seem like you're all amped up about it. And then we do it and you're like, no, you're like.
Was I acting amped up?
You were just like, I mean, beforehand, you're like, gotta get my cardio, gotta hit the stairs, gotta get
the journey of it, but the actual like.
But then when we did it, you're like, yeah, I prefer modeling. Actually, I prefer getting a call and knowing that I have a job at this time, and then preparing for that modeling shoot.
Because to me, I liked the way I looked at the show, but that's never gonna win that kind of show. I would always
with that attitude.
setting myself up for failure because.
Well, you didn't train that long, you said.
But I don't know if I want to be all hard and muscular like that. I like the lean. I think I have more of like everyday bikini model body where it's like lean, not too soft, not too hard. And I liked the way I looked and I liked the way that I felt.
Yeah, that's all that matters, I guess.
Yeah. So
Like,
me, I just wasn't hyped up because I wasn't going to be the girl that was crying because I thought I was going to win the whole thing and I didn't. I was like, depending on the competition here, this could go either way. Like they could like my look or they could be going for a different look. But either way, I'm satisfied with the way that I look.
Yeah, that's what you got to be.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
And I liked the journey of getting there. I really did. Kind of like I liked the journey of being pregnant, but I didn't hype up my labor or my birth because I didn't want it to be this thing that I put all this pressure, tension, or worry or anything that didn't need to be there.
Yeah, it was going to happen either way.
You have zero expectation, and then if something great happens, then great. Your expectations were totally met. And I would say because I didn't hype it up, had a really great experience giving birth. So, and I wouldn't have chosen any other way. Yeah. I mean, what gets you excited? You act the same as I do with stuff like that, especially like you said, your first show.
Yeah.
You're like, meh. So what gets you excited?
I think making my art, putting that stuff in there and like framing my art, selling it.
So you like the process of doing it?
No, I like the show. It was fun to get up there and flex for a little bit, but I really had to keep my energy level down and like keep all that energy inside of me before I could kind of like stand up there. My lat is still hurting. Well, like hurting for like 2 or 3 days, like still like tight.
Me, if it would have been one show, I probably would have liked it a lot better. But the fact that they send you home for 6 hours and you can't do anything. It's like one big show, one big party. We all eat together afterward, it's like the camaraderie, but really it was like.
It's a money making thing. That's all it is. That's just like anything.
I'm not saying go out to eat. I'm just saying you feel like, hey, we're all going to eat the pizza together in the room. And
they're just there to make money.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's literally, you pay however much money each class, you pay for a thing, and then it's $50 to get in. It's a money making business.
That's why you're asking, or that's why I was saying, I prefer to do a modeling job because, again, like you were saying earlier, I stay pretty consistent around what I would need to look like. And then if I get the job or I get the call or I get the opportunity, I cut for a week. And then on the day of the job, I have so much fun doing the job. I've had really fun jobs. Yeah, they were long days shooting forever, but it was just a fun day with everyone. I paid. This was like, I'm paying you miserable. You're taking my money and making me miserable. It just doesn't make sense. So yeah, whatever. To each their own. Everyone has their own goals. Again, didn't change a thing. Actually, I would change one thing. I would have bought a bigger top. Because these babies were busted out.
It wasn't bad.
Big. I mean, not to say that I would have placed any higher, but I did notice that all the girls had their hair behind their shoulders, so they could show off their shoulders and whatever. But I had to put my hair like this, like in front of me, because I had to like cover my boobs as much as possible. So I probably got docked a little bit for that because no one else did that. And I was like, I can't. There's no way. I will look like
you said, you don't know.
In a Hooters contest if I go out there with my hair not covering my boobs.
You don't know how they're trying to score, so you don't ever know. Come here.
Anyways, the experience overall, I would say maybe like an 8 out of a 10. And Tyler's hands are still gonna walk live on our podcast. Good job. We have a crawling baby who wants to stand up so bad. He tries to pull himself up. He grunts a lot. If anyone could tell me why this baby grunts so much, like why do babies grunt?
All right, got to talk in it, Tyson. If you want to talk. Say hi.
Yeah, so now we're on to the next. We have a lot of things coming up, so probably focus on that. Focus on getting stuff ready for the wedding. Focus on where we're going to be inhabiting, where we're going to live. What else? Like one more thing. That's really it. Those 2 things are kind of important, though.
Yeah.
That's our life update. Getting married on 10/10 and have a lot to do for that. I ordered my dress, ordered Tyson's outfit. You have half your outfit. And we just got to get the little details in place. But yeah, how do you feel about becoming a husband?
It'll be good. Yeah, it'll be good.
Anything's going to change?
Yeah. Hopefully start cooking me some real good dinners.
Depends on your definition of real good.
Real dinner. TV dinners.
Well, that's going to do that.
No.
You just have to leave the house whenever I cook so you don't know how I cook.
Giorno.
Chicken pot pie, homemade.
What piece of advice you want to share?
I want to be the lady who 6 years later is still saying that having a baby is her excuse as to why she's not in shape. So I just did it in 6 months instead.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
Good.
if you're sitting here and you have 2 kids that are above the age of 1, still using them as an excuse, say there's no excuse.
There's no excuse. Friend tried to tell us while we're sitting at the table, he is too busy, out, and
yeah, then.
But he was sitting. It was the day after our fitness competition, and we're sitting at the table, and he's just like, yeah, I'm just so busy, and and then
I have time to work.
I don't have time. I'm trying to find time. I just don't have time. And then I'm like, look, I'm sitting around, and then I'm looking at the one other person that's with us sitting at the table, and this guy's in extremely good shape too. He's like a fitness guy, and I'm like, can't say that at this table right now. I'm like, every single one of us is in shape. Like, if you want help getting in shape, you literally have 5 options of people that can lead you down the right path, right? Right. Thing is we all need help in some area. That's the real thing. Is like we could all use help in an area,
Yeah.
Like Warren Buffett could help us all in our investment portfolios and how to be, but maybe he needs help stretching. Seriously. Or maybe he needs help turning on some of his technology or whatever it is,
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of said the other day, there's a couple couples that we know that they either have their health or they have wealth. I just haven't come across a lot of people that got both.
Right.
Like people that I know that do extremely well financially have all these health problems. And then I'm sitting here, we're like very, very, very healthy, but we could probably figure out our financial situation.
Yeah.
Like, so it just depends on where you put your energy and time and effort. Like, I really tend to put all mine in health, and a lot of my energy goes into my workouts, into grocery shopping, into prepping food. Whereas if I didn't do any of that at all, and I put all that into learning better manage money or better invest, then that would start to be successful as well. So just about where you put your time and energy. And even our friend that was saying he wanted to get in shape, he's like, yeah, what did he say? He was like, focus has just been making money for the family right now. And so you said, what did you say? You said something about.
Yeah, I said, that's okay. That's good that it's a main priority. It should be. You're the man and you just had a baby and you're doing well for yourself. But if your main priority is making money for the family and you're not working out or taking care of your health right now at all, kind of what our friend Brian was saying, if you do 10 years of just solid hard work and you don't put 10 years into your health, well, years on down the line, it's going to be like harder to go back and try to undo all that stuff that you're trying to play catch up essentially. But
like it's not wrong what you're doing. It's just not a priority right now. Like your main priority is this.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to have 3 main priorities.
Right.
Usually you got 1 at a time.
Right.
So do we want to draw a card and we'll kind of wrap it up?
I don't have a pencil to draw. Oh.
Draw a card.
Oh, draw a card.
Jokes. They got bad jokes.
Oh, pull a card. I can pull a card. You can pull a card.
Pull a card. You want to pull a card? You want to practice your auctioneering on here? Which of my friends do you feel I'm most similar to?
Probably Granny.
I'm most similar to Granny?
I don't know. Who do you think you're most similar to?
I'm asking you.
You and Rachel, obviously, I guess.
Okay, is that your answer?
I mean, you and her are pretty much alike.
Right? You're boring.
I don't really think I'm like any of my friends.
You're probably most similar to Josh.
What? Really?
Is that a bad thing?
What? Josh?
Not happy about
You gotta be joshing me with that.
Gotta be Josh and me. Have you ever flipped me off when my back was turned? If so, when and why? If not, when have you wanted to?
Probably, but I wouldn't flip you off like that. I'd do it upside down so it doesn't count. No, that's not a flip off, it's a flip down. It's legal. And that's about all the time we got here on How About You Love.
This episode. Do you hate most about the way I drive?
Actually, I think you drive really good. I think you're probably the best drivers this side of the Mississippi.
That's a good answer.
No, you really are a good driver.
Yeah, we drove across the country multiple times.
No, I trust you. You driving, and I think I'm a good driver, and I think you're a really good driver.
Yeah, I think so too. I just don't fully trust either one of us driving in the middle of the night. How to pull over for that.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, it's really hard. I get so tired. I'm always one of those people that's like, no, we can just switch, and when you're driving, I'll sleep, and when I'm driving, you sleep, and I never can sleep. So then it comes my turn. I'm like, I'm so tired, and you fall asleep like that.
And why do you think that I can fall asleep so easily and you can't?
Because your mind doesn't race like mine does.
That's not true. I'm just in control of my mind.
Okay, so you can just turn it off.
I can say, hey, idiot, go to sleep, dummy. Oh, okay. Gosh, sorry.
That's all I gotta do.
Yeah, I said, hey, chill out. Get a hold of yourself.
I do have a couple tricks that I use to fall asleep, but none of them have worked for me recently. Even the other
earplugs work for me. Earplugs.
Even the other day, I was just thinking, this is what I was doing to try to fall asleep. I was thinking of like almost a scoreboard, and I was just counting. I was like 1, 2, and I just picture like numbers flashing on the screen. Kind of like counting sheep, but counting scoreboard. I feel like counting helps fall asleep. Another one of my tricks is breath work, but counting. So I'll do like inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 8.
How long does it take you doing that till you fall asleep?
I don't know. It depends. And if I do fall asleep, it probably takes me like 10 times of doing it. So maybe like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. I'll do breathing because you have to focus on your breath and count. So then if I'm trying to fall asleep and my mind's racing, it's obviously not focused on anything. But if I focus on one thing, I can fall asleep.
Do you think that if you were exhausted, you could fall asleep? Or just sometimes it's so hard to fall asleep when you're exhausted?
Yeah, there's been a lot of times where I'm exhausted, but I can't fall asleep.
There's something to that. Look that up. Google that. There's something to that.
That'll be my job tonight. All right, we got this grunting baby down here at our feet chewing on cord. So
I'm supposed to go train somebody and train somebody else, work out.
Well, don't sound too happy about it.
Not
happy about it? Why?
I'm just sitting here on the couch. I'm ready to stay here now for a second.
Well,
Yeah,
you've been
my son.
today.
I know. Now I can finally leave, and it's 6 o'clock.
All right, gotta go.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.